Hi everybody, Trace again. We are at Crisfield, Maryland today. That's Whiskey 41 with the Carenado King Air 200. And we're going to fly it down to one of our main FBOs at Tampa, St. Petersburg Clearwater in Tampa Bay, Tampa, Florida. So we've started the flight line flight. The people are all on board. We're all gassed up. And I think it's time to get in and get started. Okay, get rid of the yoke for now. Battery on. Lights on. And as usual, I just hit the L key and get all the lights on at once, rather than flipping every single little freaking switch. And the only ones I don't want on right away are the landing and taxi lights, so I just flip them off. As I've said before. Okay. GPS is on. This thing has two Garmin 530s, one of which is easily work withable, the other of which not so much. That doesn't matter. I only need one. And this nice little Avidine thing, which will show you the terrain and the weather. Here, I'll make it big. And I got it going now. WX off. Why aren't you showing me? Every once in a while, things will pop up and you won't get little hands. Let's just try it again. There's a hand. Weather off. Weather on. Everything else is pretty much the way I want it. I don't use it for very much, but it's kind of pretty. Baron Pilot uses his. Okay. See this one. I don't know if I can turn this one to... Yeah, I guess I can. But I can't blow it up. I can't make it full size. This one I can. So here we will make it daytime and enter the destination. Scroll up for St. Petersburg Clearwater, which is Kilo Papa India Echo. $697 nautical miles. Okay. We'll get there. Get the yoke back. I think we're about ready to start her up. Go back outside and close them up. Lights are on. Okay. Parking brake is set. Okay, let's look up if the generators are not on. Oh. Get rid of the yoke again while we start the engines. Okay. Start with the right side. We want to see a rise of at least 11% on the torque gauge. Turbine 11.8, that'll do. Introduce fuel. And that generator is on. Okay. Starter motor off. let's fire the second one. Take a look at the turbine. 9, 10, 11. Okay, it's coming up. That'll do. Introduce fuel. ITT's looking good. Torque settling back down. Okay, where are the generators at? Yeah, I know, I'm not gonna forget to shut the starter motor off like I did last time. Generators are both looking good. Let's shut that number 1 starter motor off and put the yoke back in place. Okay, the only other thing is to set pressurization, which happens down here. Get rid of that thing. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 10. I want that number to be over 8. It's 9,700 now. That'll do. As I've said, I don't know very much about pressurization. All I want from pressurization is that I don't get a little red light down in here in the status panel telling me that something is screwed up. As long as I don't, you know, I'm going to assume everybody's breathing and everything's okay. Okay. Now, how's the wind? Wind is out of the east. All right. What runway do we want then? I don't know. 114. Okay.
Whiskey 41, traffic, beach, November 7476, Romeo, taking
No,
off,
we're not
runway
taking
14,
off.
straight out departure. Whiskey
How about we're
41,
taxiing?
traffic, beach, November 7476, Romeo is taxiing to runway 14.
Okay, we'll get to the takeoff part later. We pressurized 1/4 in there. You see that it put the, I didn't do that. That's voice attack with a mind of its own. It heard something and thought I clicked. 1/4 did I say? Okay, well now we do want it. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 5. Scroll up 5. Scroll up 2. Scroll up 2. That'll do. Okay. Something happened to our eye point. I should see a little tiny bit of the nose. Hold on a second. My eye point should be a little bit higher. That's annoying. You do this by holding down shift and hitting the enter. Whoops. I'm just, my crippled finger is hitting the lateral movement key on the other side of the keyboard. Back to it. There it is. Whoa, too much. Okay, if you want to come back up, hit shift backspace. One more, there, that'll do. See, I can just see over the nose slightly, that's what I want. I do this on every airplane. I don't know why this reset itself to default values for some reason. Okay, let's have a look outside. Everything looks good. Yep. All right, we're ready to go. Mouse joystick mode. Parking brake off. Put a little power and let's go. Carenados always have a long delay in power pickup. So that took several seconds. I only gave the F3 key a little nudge, and I thought I was going to need to do more. I thought, no, just wait a few seconds, and sure enough, the power came right up. Now I'm going to see if I can get a little bit better at this. And so far I'm not than I was last time. It was not a very good landing last time coming in here from Wheeling a couple of days ago. If you saw it, I made a video of it. Oh boy. Okay. Let's call takeoff and get out of here.
Whiskey 41, traffic, Beach, November 7476 Romeo, taking off, runway 14, straight out departure.
See, this airplane is a very small null zone. Boy, oh boy. Now, you know, I was just flying the Falcon 7X yesterday, and Lord knows there's a lot wrong with it, but I was having a lot less problem with the mouse joystick. It hand flies a lot better than most airplanes. Actually, that's its one good feature, but I was having a much easier time than this. This is not good. I guess I could expand the null zone. Let's try that. Go to options, settings, whoops. Controls. On the Aileron, we're going to expand the null zone, and we're not going to do anything else, and see if that has a good effect. Okay. I know very little about this stuff. I have very little experience with it. So I don't know if that helps it or not. No, it doesn't. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. let's lower the sensitivity. By a lot. I wonder what expanding the null zone. Tell you what, let's reset defaults. Now we're just going to lower, let's do one thing at a time. Just going to lower the sensitivity. Leave the null zone where it is. If this works, I'm going to leave it in the video. If it doesn't, I'm probably going to take it out. Let's do the old. Let's do the old beat the crap out of the weight and balance thing. We go to fuel and payload. Go to payload. Are we overweight? How much overweight are we? Not hugely. Okay, and here at the top, the forward weight area, we're going to put a ridiculously amount of weight, and the airplane's going to jump all over the place. Now we'll put it back. And if it worked, if that was the problem, I know it works because I've done it a lot of times with other airplanes. If that was the issue, sometimes things happen and airplanes just will not taxi straight. This is what to do. So just settle down. Okay, which way is 1-4? That way. All right. Must be behind us. Yep. Oh, okay, I get it. We'll just do a big loopy turnaround to the left then. I think that might have been her problem. It's hard to tell in this grass, but I think it's a little, it's not jumping around as much. Get to the runway, we'll do a little pretend taxi down it. This is a good, this is true for any airplane. I found when you're like taxiing in a very squirrely way and you don't know why, it's jerking left, jerking right, putting unreasonable amount of weight on the front, like I just did, weight and balance chamber, and it'll jump around, but that shakes it out, that clears it out. Okay, here we go now. Now to flaps. I'm gonna see how she taxis. See if that's true or not. No, it's not. I don't know. Let's get out of here. Not the greatest takeoff I've ever had. This airplane is a squirrely taxier. You're up. We'll see how the landing is at St. Petersburg. Okay, flaps up. out of autopilot on out select nav. Are we on GPS? We are. Scroll up 10. Scroll up 10. See the VSI is climbing. Let's see, I think she should be able to handle 1,000 foot a minute anyway. Did I get rid of the flaps? I think I did. Alright, get this off. This goes on and off by clicking there. Oh, now we're really cranking. A little more bite in. See, I'm making the VSI climb up. I'm over still about 1,600 feet a minute. That's still, she's chugging. This airplane's got as much jump as the 350 does. The King Air 350. Open the doors. I didn't turn any lights on. Okay, let's have a look at how we're doing. Running on course, looking good. That I didn't like that ground handling thing. Something's got to be figured out with this puppy. Okay, how high do we want to go? We are more or less westerly heading. Scroll up 5. Scroll up 5. Scroll up. Scroll up 2. Scroll up 2. Scroll up 24.5. That'll do. Okay, time to go to 2x. This airplane has much better altitude control than the Falcon 7X for sure. So, you know, I'm telling it 24.5 and climb at 2,000 a minute, it'll do that. What I've got, it doesn't have an auto throttle. So when that airspeed gets down around 140, I better start thinking about lowering the nose. And 2x, it's happening faster. Climbing through 8,500 feet now. I'll go to the realistic one. That doesn't seem to work though. Let's see if it does. What's the nose at now? Right at 2,000 a minute. Let's see if we can lower it. This is the realistic one, but will it actually work? If it did, I should look up here and it should be around 1,500 feet a minute. Yeah, well wait. Yeah. I guess it does work. Good. 160. This is a pretty nice airplane. This is Carenado's answer to the King Air issue. They have a 350 also, and I think I'm probably going to get it eventually. But I've got my default 350, which I still love, but it doesn't have, you know, a lot of the cool stuff that this thing has. All these little gauges and things, and also it doesn't have a back, and I really like that. I'm looking for the table. Oop. There it is. And on this side, Now, the NPAG staff people that are sitting in these seats, then you may not be able to see them, but that's your problem. They're there, and they're getting their morning coffee. Meanwhile, we are continuing to climb, losing a little bit of airspeed. Let's lower the nose a little bit more. Let's get up to about 1,000 a minute. 5 more clicks here. Let's see where we are. Right at 1,000. It does work. Okay. The last flight, I mean, everything was happening so fast. You know, it looked like it wasn't working. We're over 18,000, so now we can go to standard altimeter setting. Now we can. There we go, 2992. Airspeed is at least holding. It might even be coming back up. We're going to 24.5. Winds out of the west at 30. That's just off to the right side of it. Trouble is, the higher we go, the harder it's likely to be blowing opposed. No, I think we'll level up at 24.5. In the wintertime, you know, you get up into the 30s and holy geez, between 30,000 feet and 40,000, you know, it's nothing unusual to see headwinds, winds coming out of the west-northwest, well over 100 miles an hour. I have a couple of buddies who are real-world airline pilots, and you talk to them about flying in North America in the wintertime, and they just shake their head. It's just awful. Which is nice to have an airplane like the Falcon 7X. For its many other sins, it will get up to 40,000 feet very easily. What happens is, once you get up around 40,000 feet, the wind dies down. So you get up to 41, 42,000 feet or even higher, your 150 mile an hour headwind that you had down around 35,000 feet might be down to 10 knots. It's almost always, it might not be that low, but it's almost always way less than it is down in the 30s. So if you can climb high, you want to do that. This puppy will get up to, I haven't really checked with this, the 350 will get up to 31,000. It might even go higher than that. But that's pretty much, you know, the ball game for it. This thing's probably about the same. So, you know, you're getting at the, in that realm, you're just getting up to where the wind's starting to blow hard. You know, since we're pointing westerly, west-southwest, it'll be right in our face. Okay, that's 1,000 to go. Airspeed's down to 140. I'm going to lower the nose some more. Let's see if that's down around 500 foot a minute. Yipper. Okay. It's not much, but we're almost there. Get a buzz right about now. Okay. Now it's time to start trimming her out for cruise. Bring the props back a little bit to, like, say, 79%. Well, we'll see how that is for now. The main thing you want is you want them even. Okay. %. I like to end up with a ground speed over 200 knots. 229. Let's see if that holds up. 2 hours and 49 minutes to get there. I can live with that. Let's see where it settles out. $225, $224. It'll probably settle out around 210. Maybe even a little bit better. I don't know, it's maybe around 220. Well, it'll do. Let's get going. I'm gonna go to 8x. This will take about 20 minutes of real world time. So we're settled down. I'm going to turn the cameras off for a little while and we'll pick it back up when we get closer. Okay, we're 176 miles out and we're going to slow down to 4x. Okay. Let's see where we are. I believe we're approaching Florida. Exactly. Zoom in a little bit. Oh, we might be over Florida. Where's the little cross? I don't know. I think we've come ashore already. Okay. Good enough. The wind has calmed down a little bit. Down in these more southerly latitudes, that will tend to be the case. And it's September. It's high summer, so you're not going to have that. In the wintertime, it's out of control. It's just insane. Now, when do we start descending? We're 143 miles out. Let's see how many minutes that is. It's the one woeful thing about the Falcon 7X. The ETE is not, I just don't know how to make it work. I can't imagine that FMC can't accommodate it. But it just does not show you how many minutes out we are. We're 33 minutes out. We're 24,000 feet, so I'm going to wait till we're 24 minutes out, and then we will commence descending. I'm not that thrilled with the paint job on this airplane, but all the others are, not as good in my opinion. This is the best one I could find. I wish I could just get back to the good old King Air black and white. Maybe someday I'll figure that out, or they'll offer one or something. I don't know. That started in FS9. The original King Air was black and white, and when I got to FSX there was no such livery, but some guy had made a even nicer variation on it which is what I use for my 350. But I haven't found one for this thing yet, which doesn't mean it's not there. I haven't been looking that hard, to be honest. 111, 110. It's going to be time to go to 2x pretty soon. $26. Yeah, I'm going to go to 2x and then I'm going to start descending. It's really a relief in a nice, reliable airplane like this, as opposed to the Falcon 7X, where every time you contemplate descending, it's like your heart's in your mouth. What's it going to do this time? This puppy will go right down. Scroll down 10. Scroll down 10. Scroll down 10. See what that does. Okay. Back the power up a little. That's at 900 feet a minute. So we're at 24,000. 20 minutes out. Let's put another 100 foot a minute drop in. See how that does. 1,000 foot a minute. That's the best estimate I can make right now. Okay, we need to take a little more power down. We're approaching red line there. We don't want to be going too fast. This airplane is very reliable. You know, you tell it to descend at 1,000 a minute, and it does that, and it doesn't do anything else. As, you know, most airplanes do. I'm traumatized by flying that Falcon 7X again and again and again. And I've got it to where I can at least do flights, you know, but it's still, it's a challenge. You know, maybe you're doing 1,000, maybe you're doing 1,500, maybe you're doing 600. You just don't know. It's unreliable, especially descents. Climbs are not too bad. You know, this thing will get down. What do I have it set at? 4,500 feet. Chances are it'll bust right through 4,500 and head right to the ground. The experience yesterday was I had two things going against me. I was very heavily overloaded, like 30% overweight, and I was trying to do a descent at 4x. And I've since come to the point of view that that's a no-no. If you're going to be overweight, well, you're going to be overweight, but don't do descents at 4x. Slow down to 2x. And even then, it's going to be hard to manage. It's a lot better at normal speed. And you're doing it manually. I mean, I'm controlling the nose up or down attitude with the home and the end key, just manually adjusting it. The autopilot is pretty much useless. For lateral guidance, the autopilot is excellent. You know, at least that. So you can use the LNAV to set in your course, and then you've got to adjust your pitch attitude manually. But it used to be with that airplane, it was so squirrely I couldn't do anything. And before I learned how to take it completely out of fly-by-wire mode, you can't shut the autopilot off otherwise. And how are you going to land the airplane when the autopilots just will not allow you to do things like land? But we're not flying the Falcon 7X today, we're flying the King Air 200. A much nicer, sweet, reliable little airplane. I really like it. Okay, 59 miles out, 13 minutes. Let's get a look at the situation at our destination. Go to world map. Wind 076 at 4. That's hardly anything. Viz 10. Okay. 076. They might give us anything. Field elevation 0 dark 30. Let's just keep heading that way and see what they give us. Let's increase the drop a little bit. Make sure we get down there. As I've said many times before, I hate to get over an airfield and be 5,000 feet higher than I want to. And the time to fix that is now. Increase the drop, back the power up a little bit. Set the altimeter 29.97. Most likely it'll either be 17 or 35. .46 miles out. See, you know, I'm very confident. I have my descent altitude set now at 4,500 feet. I'm very confident that even though we're descending at 1,500 feet a minute, when it hits that altitude, it'll stop. Unlike some other airplanes that won't need to be named. Yeah, I think someday I'm going to get the 350. But this, you know, this thing has got all the power that it has. The only thing it doesn't have is the 350 has 2 more seats. What do I care? You know, this thing though, it has so many views that the default King Air does not have. You know, all the older planes don't have any of this stuff. Look at all this. They're just good views, but the back, you know, the main cabin, that's very cool. Back view, front view. That's the 2D cockpit, accessed by hitting the F10 key. Here's another, by hitting the W key, that'll take you, these are, you know, from basic FSX. there's an advantage to that because you can see your airspeed and you can look over and see the world at the same time. It's nice. Okay, we're 26 miles out. Time to get down to normal speed. Normal. Normal. Time to call in. There it is. Petersburg Tower.
St. Petersburg Tower, Beach, November 7476, Romeo is 21 miles northeast with hotel.
Here we are leveling off at
Beach,
4,500.
November 7476, Romeo.
17
Petersburg
left.
Tower, we straight in, runway 17 left, altimeter 2.
Yeah, that'll do.
7.
Okay.
Runway 17 left, Beach 76, Romeo.
Scroll up 5. Scroll up 2. Scroll up. There we are. Scroll up 5. Well, let's go to heading. Let's slow down. Okay, that's good. Flip around to the right side. I like to have my view on the outside of the turn. Okay. Now, last landing was not very good. We overshot, we were too fast, and we went through the fence at Crisfield. So we're going to see what we can do with this one. I've had some more practice in the meantime. I went out and did some touch and goes, and we'll see now if I've learned anything. Props all the way forward. What do we set at? 49. No, we need a little more than that. $59. That'll do for now. We just don't want to stall down low here. Okay. I'm going to reset the D2. I'm going to keep doing it until when the course line goes right through the feathers of the ILS, I'm lined up. And then I'm going to go to nav mode, and it'll turn me right onto the correct course for the runway. For 15 miles out in this airplane, that's pretty good. Airspeed 170. We got time to slow down, but let's get a start on it. We're not really perpendicular. Go go to nav now. Need a little more. Oh, that's gonna do. That's close enough. Oh, get down. Scroll down 10. Scroll up 10. Scroll down 10. Scroll up 5. Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Scroll up. Okay, 13 miles out. At 10 miles out, I want to be commencing descent. From 3,000 feet, I want to be there. That ain't likely. Let's increase the drop. I should have started that descent earlier. I forgot that I leveled out at 4,500. Okay, now 2,000 foot a minute. Now we're getting there. Now we're getting there. Okay, let's get the gear down. And not to flap. Get back over to the pallet side. Now let's see what things look like. Slowing down nicely. 9.7. Scroll down 5. Now we want about 600 foot a minute drop. And let's see where we want our airspeed. That'll do for now, till we get closer. Okay, this is alright. Ground speed 112 knots, that's alright. I think I see the runway out there. Wait a minute. Yep, there it is. See it? Right there. Right across the bay. Now we're looking good. We're 7 miles out, coming in at 102 knots. Looking good. Put the lights up. Kick in a little more power. This is about as slow as I care to be going. I'm increasing it some more.
Beach 76 Romeo, cleared to land, runway left.
102, 103. See, that's, you know, I don't want to be much slower than that.
Clear to land, runway 17 left, beach 76 Romeo.
107, 110. That's, you know, that's kick it back down to. That buzzer was telling me I'm 1,000 feet above the altitude I've got set, which is like 500 feet. That doesn't matter because I'm going to shut the autopilot off in a second. Now we're at 117 knots. Time to slow down a tad. Oh, looking good though. If she'll just fly. See, I'm showing just slightly to the left of the runway, just the way the course line left it. Okay, I'm going to go autopilot up and go to joystick mode. For no other reason, because I need a little more practice. Get a little bit to the right of the runway. Now this is looking good. Don't overdo it now. Bring her over. Yep. Don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. Flight idle.
Orbit 958.
Full flaps.
Petersburg Tower. Flight straight in. Runway 17 left. Altimeter 2996. Orbit 958. Cleared to land. Runway 17 left.
Look at that.
Follow beach King Air on final.
Look at that. Shut up.
Cleared to land. Runway 17 left. Orbit 958.
Recovering better, but you know, still it's screwed up. Try to get it to the runway. Didn't make it. Well,
Romeo. Contact ground on 121.9.
yeah. Yeah, I'll be with you in a second, pal. Yeah. We clearly have some stuff to learn about taxiing, flying this thing with the mouse joystick. I would submit though that was better than the last flight. At least we landed on the runway. No, we didn't, but we didn't go through the fence. Going into Crisfield, we were too hot. This time we were too slow. Now look, she's taxiing better. I think maybe that beating the hell out of it, doing the thing that I've done, and it works with airplanes all the time. If you find yourself, it's jumping in a very squirrely way when you're taxiing. Go to aircraft, fuel and payload, go to the top payload bin, and put the weight to the maximum amount, 99,99,999. Huge amount of weight in the front. And then click back off of it. The airplane's gonna bounce all over the place. Just let it do that for a second or two, then go back to aircraft, fuel and payload. Put it back to whatever weight you want, what you had it at before. Well, I had it at mine at 222 pounds, which is nominally the pilot's weight. The pilot is clothing, is whatever, you know, and she'll behave, and you will find that you have cured the problem. This is definitely less squirrely. Now I'm going back and forth here. Maybe I shouldn't be so quick to judge. I think it's taxiing a little too fast. Slow her down again. I think this airplane just doesn't like to taxi that fast. See now, taxiing slowly. See, she's behaving herself. This is maybe 10 or 15 miles an hour. You know, they tell you airplanes fly fast, but they taxi slow. And that's true. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the little crosses off a little bit to the left side of the screen, and that seems to be keeping her straight. I don't know why. I mean, that's not, well, now it's, I don't know. Of course, I do have an expanded null zone. Now she's getting a little fast. Slow her back down. Well, I've got the speed thing bracketed. Last time I was too hot. This time I was too slow. So we're gonna have to fly this airplane some more and find the sweet spot. Now, where should I turn? I'm gonna turn here on the runway. Get to my building. Oh, I see. Yep. All right. It seems to like to be off to the left side. I wonder that this thing's a little bit out of adjustment. And if that's true, it's a Carenado thing. There's nothing I've done everything I can do is with option settings. It's not that bad anyway. We'll do some more videos with a few of the other Carenado airplanes. The TBM, we did one that wasn't that great. With mouse joystick too, as I recall. We'll do one with the Pilatus. We'll do one with the Meridian. And we'll do a couple more with the Premier. And see as we get better with this mouse joystick. Okay, well, we have arrived. Here we are. Flight idle. Set the parking brake. Oh, you've got to get out of, okay, got to get out of joystick mode now. There we go. Get the little white box. Okay, well, that flight is done. Flight line acknowledges us at this airport, and all is well. So we've shut the starter motors off, I hope. So let's shut the engines off and see what happens. Apparently so. Okay, well, another modestly successful flight with the mouse joystick. after a while, we'll get back to using the joystick regularly. I still can. And I think I'm a much better pilot with a regular joystick. But I just feel like this mouse thing is something I'm going to have to learn. Sooner or later, I'm not going to be able to handle a joystick anymore. But I'm not there yet. Okay, lights off. Battery off. We won't move the joystick. Oh, that, okay. No, that does not work that way. Okay. With the TVM, it flips the other way and just shuts everything off all at once. Generator's off. Everything's off. Well, that's it. Fairly good flight. Thanks for coming along. And we'll catch you later.